Hey guys, how's it going? I wanted to make this video because when I took speech in high school, I got nearly a perfect grade, and I was never anything that I studied, but it was something that I felt very confident about and felt that very good about. And that's saying something because in high school I was very, very bad at talking with people, and um, most of my life before that and for a long time after that. So I had this thing that was connected with communication and was essentially all communication, but it wasn't one-on-one. When I, or in a party sense or whatever, I would actually say, interestingly, I think I was pretty good sometimes with one-on-one if it was like a subject that I knew about, or if someone had the same sort of processing that I did in terms of speaking with others. For example, I was one of those people who would just say, "Do you like this? Oh, I like this too. Um, do you like this other thing? I also like that." Stuff like that, very basic. And to me, it'd be interesting, but to most people, it's ultra dull conversation. And sometimes I find people who are like that, and I actually usually have more of a connection with them. So I guess that's still part of me greatly. But at the same time, I can now speak with many other people, and I think I'm fairly good in conversation. I would say certainly above average, as most people are, in my opinion, not very good. And there's a decent percent of the world population that, if you say, "Oh, I heard that you got a new hobby. You started lifting weights. How's that?" And they'll say, "Good," and that'll be it. And there's a lot of people like that in the world, and I don't know how anyone gets along with them. Because when I was even less. I was even at my worst. I was still better than that at talking with people, and it seemed like no one wanted to talk with me. So I don't know how people talk with those kind of people. Anyway, or people want to be friends with them. I still try to be nice and loving and kind and try to get some sort of conversation going with anyone. But I couldn't stand being around someone like that always. Or sometimes you'll find groups of people like that. And yeah, I mean, God bless them. I love them, but I don't know. It's just strange. I wish I could be like that and people would still want to talk with me and things. I don't know what it is. Maybe there's something else people found off-putting about me, or maybe multiple things. But I know that if you are good at communicating, people will want to talk with you. A lot of people will. Not everyone, but yeah. Anyway, to get to my point is speech is much more in line with if you can process information well, and if you can communicate that information well while not being interrupted. That's, I think, the biggest thing, because that's essentially what a speech is. And I really don't like when you're talking with someone and then someone else asks you or another person something while you're having a conversation, and then the person turns away and starts talking with them. I try to not let it bother me, but I still, it seems crazy to me to just completely ignore someone and just turn and talk with someone else. And people might say, "Oh, well, it's because you're boring or something. Nobody wants to talk with you." But I see it happen with other people and things. So I know it's not just me. And I understand if there's, some sort of exclamation, somebody gets a present and wants to go, "Oh, look at this," and it kind of cuts in the conversation, and then the person goes, "Oh, that's great, great," or whatever. There's a bunch of instances in which it would be fine to interrupt, but at least go back to the person and say, I'm sorry for interrupting. what you were saying about this? Can you tell me more about this, or continue what you were saying? Something along those lines, or just apologizing for breaking up the. You don't even have to apologize. Just go back to it. Even worse is when someone themselves, they just break off the conversation in the middle without being prompted by an outside party, which is, again, even to me, even more insane. But in a speech, that doesn't happen. That, I mean, I suppose it could, but that's usually frowned upon greatly in society, and or else, a person is taken out of the hall if if you're giving a speech in a certain area or whatever. You know what I mean? It's usually when there's a speech going, everyone's listening. And so that gave me a lot of confidence, and since I always knew what I was talking about, and I said what I wanted to say, I felt very good about it, and I was good at giving speeches, and I think I still am good at giving speeches. I looked into trying to do that for a living. It seems like it's not so straightforward, but we'll see. This next thing I'm going to say about speeches, people might reel at, but I think it's very important, and just hear me out. Humans love to feel other human emotion. So the reason people like reaction videos, the reason people get excited when you get excited, when if someone gives you a present, if you give a present to someone, they like to see that you're excited. You like to see that they're excited. People really love emotion. People love emoting. People love seeing all the different ranges, even like rage videos. That's why, there'll be like rage compilations on YouTube, or cringe compilations will bring out those emotions in you, and sometimes you'll see the how other people are reacting to the cringe in a video, if there's multiple people. And that's why people watch, horror things or whatever. They want to feel this emotion and see other people get scared and feel them. I mean, I don't really like that kind of thing, but some people do. People like seeing other people have other people have emotion and kind of feeling that emotion through them, and they themselves like having emotion. So the people who give the best speeches are those who embody the speech and personify it. And maybe I'm not using my words correctly there, but what I mean is you're putting emotion in, as I am right now. I'm trying to display this to you, and so now I'm going to get to the thing that people might reel at. People said Obama was a good orator and good at giving speeches, and if you think of like someone like George Bush was, I'll say, not the best. And if you look at Biden, okay, sometimes, but Trump clearly much better. And even if you hate Trump, you would at least say, even if he talks like a child, even if he, if you think he's dumb or says dumb things or whatever, I think it would be intellectually dishonest or just dishonest to claim that he's not good at getting some people riled up through his speaking to crowds. In the same way, I'm not connecting Hitler and Trump, but from all the speeches I've seen, people giving speeches, if you even go and watch a true Hitler speech, they have them on YouTube, and sometimes the comments have you questioning humanity, in that people will say, Hitler was actually a good guy, and they seem to be serious about it. But anyway, that's besides the point. I'm not saying I'm not saying anything like that, and I'm not condoning anything that Hitler did. But you want to take the things that people are good at and try to do those things yourself. But if they're doing it for a bad reason, you do it for a good reason. So, in my opinion, the person who I've seen best at giving speeches, I'm not saying the content of his speeches are right or good or anything, but the best at giving speeches is Hitler. And I recommend, if you want to see what a great speech is like, go watch that. And I think it's a bit counterintuitive because people tend to kind of feel, at least I feel this way, that when you're giving a speech, it should be a professional and serious and straightforward, and you should be, kind of the adult standing up. And sometimes that can be good. I think of Martin Luther King, I Have a Dream speech, which is fantastic, but he does use a good amount of emotion in his words. You can feel it. Sometimes this is even better than the way that Hitler would convey speeches. Again, the content, I certainly condone Martin Luther King Jr.'s, but not Hitler's. But I'm saying the giving of the speeches themselves. There's not always one right way or one way to do it. But if you're really trying to rile people up and really get people behind a cause, which often that's what speech giving is about. Not always, maybe even less than 50% of the time, but often. You want to incorporate some of the mannerisms that Hitler did, not the Sieg Heil, not these types of things, but he's pounding the desk, sort of like apparently Mussolini did similar types of things. They really feel passionate about what they're talking about, and people want to feel your passion. Now, hopefully, your passion is for good things, and not starting wars and killing people. But it's so fascinating, I think, compelling to see. You're so used to seeing, at least I am, old videos, and people are just kind of like, just going through life. And to see somebody emoting so much is like just drastically different, especially in a place like Germany where people are, let's say, not super animated. And that might be why he was so successful, is because he was so different from the average person. And these people had all these built-up emotions, and they were finally sort of feeling them through Hitler. Now, as I say, I have to keep saying this, just in case anybody, and there will still be people who misunderstand me. What I'm saying is, you want to have those emotions. You want to have people feel what they feel and maybe have not expressed through you. They want to feel a connection with you, and hopefully use that connection for the good, like an MLK. I suppose that's all I have to say about it, but it's something that, again, it's maybe the thing that came most naturally to me in all of my life. Maybe not, but certainly one of the things, and I think that's saying something, and I think it's a very valuable quality and trait, and I know that most people are even more afraid of public speaking than of death. So, yeah, I suppose I'd also ask if anyone has any advice on sort of maybe having a career involving speeches, let me know. And yeah, that's about it. Thank you very much for watching. Love you, Gabasa. And yeah, take care. Like, comment, subscribe if you want to. And yeah, if you have any other questions about speeches or anything, let me know. If you have any advice, let me know too. Have a good one.